Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Monday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, happy Monday. Quick look at the daily chart, then we'll get over to the hourly chart. We talked last week about how a new band ride really wasn't going to be very likely, and it's because as the bands expand, it just kind of runs away from price. If they don't get back hooked up with the band here really on this day, then the ascent is just going to be too steep for price to be able to catch up. So we talked a little bit last week about how I'm really kind of looking for a wide trading range, somewhere in the area of 15 to 25 handles up here, as we kind of try to figure out what the next leg in this market is going to be. We have probed the low 50s area the last couple of days. We've done 65 to 70 on the upside. They did a new all-time high at 70 in the Sunday overnight. They did a matching low at 70 off of the Europe Open. So very similar to the high that we had in the 56s last week, last Sunday night, and through the holiday and into Tuesday. I have to show this 2370 high a little bit of deference because it's the first high from this week. What I think we see today is a move down to the new weekly pivot down in the 2359 area. The new weekly pivot typically would get a test early on in the week. What happens from there will be critical. So you've really got the daily pivot and the weekly pivot hooked up today in the 2359 area. Here's your matching highs up at 70. It's been testing the hourly mid band for the last 3 hours. You saw it did the dip as low as 49.5 on Friday. The bears just can't finish. They can't finish them off. And as soon as those dip buyers see that blood in the water, they run with it. And that's how you end up going from 49 to a close up, up in the area of 65. And there's a point in the afternoons that we've seen where the bears just can't get any traction. And that's a long that you've got to take, as painful as it is. We talked about that in the mid-morning webcast, and I finished up on that thought on the daily wrap-up. We ended up getting long 57.5 and then taking it off into the close. Did about 57.5 up to 65. We took it off in pieces along the way, but it was a nice little 4 2/3 handle trade for us to end the week, which is nice. It's hard to get into that trade, though, because it's hard to buy highs. Because at some point, the highs are going to be the high. And every high feels awful. So the three key support areas for me on this chart are the new weekly pivot, daily pivot in the area of 59 to 60. Then you have to deal with 49 to 50, really 49 to 55, because you've got this 55 area that just hasn't been able to be converted. 49.50 support here, 49.50 support here. So essentially a double bottom. Okay. Below that, you've got the area of 36.37, which is another double bottom from 2 weeks ago. So you're dealing with all these matching lows, all these double bottoms. Eventually, if the bears are going to get any traction in this market, they have to start to convert those support areas. All of that starts with being able to turn this week's weekly pivot at 59 into resistance. Consistent weekly pivot resistance is the key, has been for the last 3, 4, 5 years, is the key to any meaningful pullback in this market. Because once you are able to do that, then you have a whole other segment of folks that become sell rallies versus buy dips. And you can start to attack some of these lower areas, and the bears tend to have a little bit more conviction than they would have otherwise. Right now, they have no conviction at all. They'll run it down for 20 minutes, they'll run it down for an hour, maybe even a couple hours, like right here. But as soon as at the first sign of trouble, they're like a scared bunny in the backyard. They're gone. And when they go, then the bulls have the run of the day. So that's a dynamic that the bears are going to have to switch. All right, everybody have a fantastic day. I will catch you guys on the mid-morning wrap-up. Follow us on Twitter at Princetontrader. Come check out our website, Princetontrader.com, and come take a free trial in our chat room. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade them well, everybody.